My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Welcome. For those of you just joining us for the very first time, thank you for coming along with this ride over here. We're going to be going into another, start all over. Welcome back. I'm just watching Melanie mouth. Oh my god! Right, well, I got her opening for the bits. It's just catching up on me. It's just really catching up on me. Howdy, folks! Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Whether you're watching us on the Wizard World channel, on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook page. Speaking of YouTube channel, please go ahead right now when you get a chance. Please check out our YouTube channel, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You can just do a keyword search or youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Please subscribe now. We are closing in on our gap to reach 2,000 Facebook subscribers and our limit of our number of 4,000 viewing hours. We've actually gotten over the halfway marker on there. You're watching the Cushing Conundrum continues. We'll explain to that for those of you who are just joining us for the very first time. It's a very, very good. It's going to be a fun episode for those of you, especially who are familiar with the two movies starring Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, the human side of things. And also, if you subscribe with our YouTube channel, you will get exclusive content. The Who Knew News will be we're hoping to get another episode of that out there sometime this week. Also, Bits of the TARDIS, where you can brought to you by the rathole.ca. Bits of the TARDIS are just little bite-sized morsels of our full-length episodes, so you can check them out. And if you like what you see, you can actually click at the end of the Bits of the TARDIS to the full-length episode. But thanks again for joining us, folks. Again, my name is Christian Basil, the host of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Oh, Garrett Williams! Garrett Palmature, welcome.
Garrett? Did he head off to Australia?
Garrett?
Because I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday.
I know.
Oh,
no, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Well, we want to welcome Garrett Palmature to the chat. Thank you for joining us over there. Please check his.
Some people think it's Monday. Please, it's all over the place.
That still has thrown me off out there.
It's a Memorial Day weekend we're coming off of in the United States.
Yes.
Bank holiday too. So
they had a bank holiday in the UK, so they were off as well there. But Garrett, check out the Hanging With web show, the HWWS media team. Go over after you subscribe to our channel. Go over there and subscribe to them. They got a ton of content going on. Just plethora of stuff. If you like movies, if you like comic books, his channel is going to be awesome to join out there. The HWWS Media, and we want to thank them because without them we couldn't have our audio recording. So if you ever check us out on the audio when you get a chance, go to iHeartRadio, go to cbsradio.com, go to Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, we're on there as well. And what we got there? Garrett says, I want it to be Wednesday, so I'm making it so by proclaiming it. Okay, fine, folks. Okay, we're done. Bye, everybody. It's Wednesday.
Say it enough, he'll bring it into the universe.
There
or at least in 6 hours.
Yeah,
Garrett, we've had enough of a road. We got 2 more weeks to go. 2 more weeks. Before we go to our very first brick and mortar convention, which is Central Florida Comic-Con, which is be taking place in 2 weekends from now. So
wait, Rick and Morty.
Yes, Brick and Morty.
Who's coming?
The Central Florida Comic-Con will be at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida.
There you go.
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. This is not a plant because I know the show premieres June 20th on Adult Swim, and this pretty much. I'm not saying Rick Sanchez is my spirit animal. More Morty is, because Lord knows I've been around enough Rick Sanchez in my lifetime, so I trust that Royland and the other voice actors will be there, or
I believe that who's the gentleman that does Space Ghost?
Lowe.
George Lowe. He's going to be
Lowe will be there.
I think a few of the Power Rangers are going to be there.
George Lowe is always there when there's not a convention. Okay, people. Not going to say anymore. Not going to say anymore. George, we love you. Not me, but we love you. Yeah.
It's in the same county as me. Love them.
Okay, so anyway, we're back to our show out here. Thanks for joining us. Last week we did a little thing where we came with the idea of the question of what if the Doctor Who in the TV in the movie, I keep on saying TV movie, but the movie Doctor Who with Peter Cushing could regenerate. We actually came up with our first 3 actors after Peter Cushing, and today we're going to continue on at least another 3 actors if Peter Cushing's Doctor could regenerate in human form. I know that's weird, and then somebody was giving me raz like, he's human, he can't regenerate. This is just a what if. This is just what would happen if it could happen here. And don't forget, if you want to join us, please, you can chat anywhere on the YouTube channel, on our Twitch channel, at the Wizard World Facebook page, and the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS Facebook page. You can just, if you have any comments, or if you have any ideas of what actors would be great to have replaced Peter Cushing had he chosen to leave, you can also check out our website, thelegendofthetravelingtardis.com, where you can actually find all those audio that I mentioned, iHeartRadio, iTunes. They don't call it iTunes. I still call it iTunes, Apple Podcasts, CBS Radio, and also all links to all the other platforms that you can find and listen to.
Just call it Fred. All of it. Just call it Fred.
I know, but nobody's going to go to Fred. Nicholas Tucker, you can check him out on the... Fencing Guild. God, I'm sorry, Nicholas. I'm so sorry. Fencing
Maybe it needs
Guild.
to be Wednesday.
Yeah, it should be Wednesday. It can't be Wednesday. I already have hump day jokes. Oh, never mind. Nick, get out of here. So, and Graham Krause, we want to welcome everybody to the show. Speaking of welcoming everybody, we're going to introduce one of our panelists today. We're going to introduce, hey, Dan, how you doing there? We're going to introduce from the rathole.ca himself.
Not me, apparently. I'm just kidding. I'll be out. Hi.
I moved down there. Dave Chapman. Please check out the rathole.ca. How you doing there, Dave?
Am I still on?
I know. He hasn't been kicked out of the studio yet.
Yet. No, things are going. We didn't have a long weekend this weekend. Victoria Day is last weekend for us.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean we didn't have a bit of a somber Monday anyway, which is why I'm wearing an orange shirt. Look up Orange Shirt Day. I won't go into it here, but some not fun historical stuff happening up here right now. Other than that, things are great.
What is Victoria Day? For the folks not in Canada, what's Victoria Day?
Victoria Day, it's our bank holiday. It's not any sort of meaning, but it's named after Queen Victoria, obviously being still part of the Commonwealth. It's nothing special beyond just that's our May long weekend.
Gotcha.
The snow of the year.
Got it. Speaking of celebration, we're bringing back Mr. Joey Reynolds himself from last week at Geek Radio America. How you doing there, Joey? And tell us a little bit for the new folks, Geek Radio America. Talk to them about that.
Well, Geek Radio America. After a brief hiatus,
whatever I'm having is rubbing off on you now too.
Yeah, I'm not. I know nothing. But we'll be back, I believe, on the 7th of June on Twitch. And we'll also have our new season coming up. And you can find that out through the page, which I finally put more quarters into this time. And that's geekradioamerica.com. If it's still under construction, bear with me. However, our show for this coming week, which is on sci-fi-radio.com, that involves Dr. Jack Bevan, who is not only a senior meteorologist, if I'm right in saying, at the National Hurricane Center in Miami, but he's also been a huge Doctor Who fan. I have met him at conventions, at least when it's not hurricane season, which starts today, June 1st, and ends on November 30th. But we will be talking about at least what they've been doing, the meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center in the off season, as it were, ensuring that hurricanes. And we had a record again last year. Safe and sound, and with information and how to get things done. By the way, happy 25th anniversary Doctor Who news page.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see that somewhere. So, yeah, happy anniversary to the Doctor Who news page. And, yeah, it is June 1st. So we have entered the big
Twilight
storm.
Zone?
Yeah, for us Floridians, yeah, it's a Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Garrett says, I just got back from Thursday. It's not worth it. We'll try to skip it the next week and just go by Friday.
No, just go to Saturday. Just go to Saturday.
We just got into June, Garrett. Come on, we just got into June. Let's give it a chance. I mean, May was rubbish. So, and I want to welcome Lisa Bowen, and she says, "Awesome! I have my Comic-Con shirt on today." Well, Lisa, thank you for joining us here. Welcome to the show, Joe McKeel. Stupid O'Clock. Check him out on the YouTube channel, Stupid O'Clock. And last but not least, definitely not least, is Melanie Dean, Pieces of Melee. Check out her Instagram and all of her artistic work, especially the one in the background right there. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Everything else is up there, but there's on that side.
How you doing there, Melanie? Welcome.
I'm doing quite well. I was going to say happy Pride Month, everybody. See, there's my shirt.
Aww.
Happy Pride.
This one.
Aww.
Incidentally, I got that at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So happy Pride. I'm doing well. Just finished my mural. So those people who've been following me over this past month, that I've been doing 3 murals in Met West in Tampa, all are finished. So go on Instagram and kind of take a look-see at all my finished work. That's that. Now it's on to the next thing, which is going to be working on my website a little bit more and getting ready for being at in-person conventions. Time to actually start using this big brick of a machine here and start getting prints done. So here we go, people. If you have any ideas that you have something you want, if you want commissions done or anything like now, contact me now before we get rolling, because we're getting back to it, everyone.
Now, I got a question for you, Melanie. What are you going to do differently in 2 weeks from now when we go back into the conventions and the Rick and Morty, whatever Joey wants to? What are you going to be doing differently? Are you going to be masking up? What will we have to mask up? That's part of the convention.
Oh, I'm wearing a mask. Oh, hell yes. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Okay, so first of all, anybody who's ever done conventions, you already knew that there was a thing called con crud, and that would already hit you amazingly, and especially when you're having right now, since so many conventions are getting greenlit, and if you notice, anything that was pushed over to from 2020 to 2021 ended up being pushed over here and over here. So now we've got so many conventions that are back to back to back, or they're running along the same weekend that you thought, oh, I was going to do Dragon Con, and I was going to do this. Oh, they're the same weekend now. So we're going to have so many conventions on top of each other. In 2019 brain, I'm going, oh God, imagine if I get Concord at 1 and then I got to go flying and then I got to travel. I'm using my new skills I've learned from coronavirus and going, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm masked up. I'm going to try I have my hand sanitizer out already, but now I'm going to be using that thing more often. I'll probably have a nice little piece of plexiglass in between us so we can still talk and converse and all that kind of stuff. But hey, here's a healthy 2021.
You will win the hallway prize for cosplay for best 2020.
Yes. Best 2020. No, that means I wouldn't be wearing any pants. So we're gonna try putting pants on now in 2020. Good luck putting your shorts on now.
But remember now, cosplay is not consent. Remember that, folks. Remember that.
Oh my God. Garrett
Speaking
says,
of cosplay.
We're excited to. Speaking of cosplay, we're excited now that we're getting back out there. Maybe there's a cosplay Michael Doctor Strange piece coming. We mean maybe.
Maybe. Oh.
And if I'm mistaken, you have to you too, sir, have to cosplay something else in the DC universe. Hint, hint. Yeah, but I wouldn't hold that on you there, sir. But yeah, we can't wait till we get back. I'm really excited about getting back there. But yes, we're going to be safe about it, and there will be guidelines to hold Little Boy Blue, which is actually being prepped for the convention. So I have this in its place right now. But the Traveling TARDIS is actually going to get a container so that he can showcase himself out there on the tables, but he's not going to be so accessible. Hi, Carlene. And Joe McKeel, remember everyone, Pants 2021. Hashtag. Speaking of hashtags, we're going to hit a commercial break. When we continue, we're going to be talking about the next 3 doctors who could possibly replace Peter Cushing in the movie series. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend.
Bait Man.
What's The Bait Man?
A novel set in Florida, written by Florida author D.L. Havlin. Suspense, mystery, and murder.
Evidence is in the bait.
The Bait Man is available at local bookstores and online.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
This is Cosplay Michael with the Hanging Out Club Show. I want to tell you about my friends at Embellis Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props for all of your costume needs. And the team at Embellis Effects is helpful and friendly. Embellis Effects is one of my favorite places, and I know it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to embelliseffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
That's right, cosplay Michael. Cosplay is for everyone. And don't forget to check out our friends over at geekinsider.com. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. And if it wasn't for geekinsider.com, you would not be watching us on Twitch, on YouTube, or the Facebook page. Please give them a subscribe at geekinsider.com.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Legends of Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil, and we are going to go ahead and start our topic today. We've already spoken about 3 doctors who could possibly replace Peter Cushing. Now we're going to go a little bit further into the next 3 doctors, and without, just by random choice, Melanie, I think we're going to have you start this one off. Melanie,
okay,
is one of your picks.
Wait, what? Okay, so... Wow, just jumping right into it. So I'm trying to remember which the years were, because
I think we're doing 70s, right? 70s slightly.
We were, I think, around 74, 75, because we're definitely mid.
Believe so, yeah.
Because it was it. So the framework of this, again, if you didn't watch it from the last episode, was that the Peter Cushing doctor. He basically has a movie. So imagine if he got 2 movies, they were separate, you're done. So imagine if that, no such thing as a television show, they're just movies, and every doctor after him gets 2 movies, and then off they go. So that's it. So in that vein, and we're trying to make sure that this is around the 70s, so that's another thing is we're having our picks. My first 3 after Cushing kind of went with the horror genre, a little bit Hammer horror, then flipped over here to the stateside, was I had Christopher Lee, I had Vincent Price, so we went stateside, and I had when I even went to Canada, we went to Christopher Plummer, which I just have this kind of feel that if they were movies, it's going to be a little easier to push somebody that's international rather than trying to say, well, we're going to have a new 4th Doctor and he's going to keep running with the BBC and blah, 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 blah. You're not going to have that kind of... But for my next Doctor, I'm going back over to England, and it was going to be David Niven. Because I wanted something where I wanted him because he's a very, very versatile actor. And I believe that this Doctor Who role, within the framework of it being a film, the actor could really do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And they could have more of that tying into having a heavy drama and having some light comedy, which is something where in today's not view, but today how usually with a lot of drama, even as heavy as it is, heavy the content is much heavier kind of themes than you see back in the 70s. It was very balanced with comedy. Nowadays, you're going to have, the pendulum swings a lot. But even back then, with those those TV movies, you would have that kind of pendulum swinging where you'd have some heavy drama, and then we'd have some lighthearted, some type of comedy, possibly like a slapstick, probably the comedian. It would be more the companion for him. But I just see David Niven having fun with the role, being a little bit more that professor kind of science-y again, being that role to kind of help teach. But I think he would have fun with it. And I think you saw so much drama from him, so many very thick pieces during his 70s kind of specific career. I think this would have been a nice time to go, look, we're going to do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxing, and he would be able to kind of showcase a little bit more of that kind of wit and fun with it. So David Niven is my first choice.
There, I think he would be. I think he's just. I see him sitting next to the TARDIS with a drink in his hand, and just sitting down and just like watching the Daleks, rumble off, and he's just sitting there observing the whole thing. He's just like,
I see him extremely polite.
He's polite.
I see him very
definitely.
cunning.
Yes.
Not like a Patrick Troughton second Doctor where he's or seventh Doctor where they're kind of like, oh, I'm just going to sit back here and another one of my picks is going to be more like that. But just a little bit more hearkening back to the first Doctor, I feel. But I think Niven would really just make this a completely different character than we would see him in a Doctor.
I think, and I'll ask everybody where the thoughts are there, but I'd see David Niven. I'm not. I would say he has a Tom Baker kind of esque wit to him, but it's not eccentric. It's just simple. So if somebody walks in and goes, "Oh, Chop Suey, the Galactic Emperor," he would just say it right out there, and he would actually have more. He would have said more in that one line to his enemies than most of the Doctors go out there, because he just had that presence that he just he just be laid back. He doesn't he doesn't really have to even do much. He barely moves the pieces on the chessboard. He's just watching the chessboard, and he's just waiting for the wrong move to be made, and then he starts to go in for the kill there.
I see him very much being an exhibition playhouse where he would probably be very silent, very watching, and the second he starts having lines, he just goes like, I see him as a monologue Doctor. He would just have so many monologues, but then be quiet.
That's actually weird. I would actually think he would have a lot of one-liners as opposed to monologues. He would have his moments, but I mean, when he was going into the verbal wit, using his wit as a weapon, he would always knock it off with the one-liners. Joey, Dave, your thoughts on David Niven?
I don't know him very well. So he's one of those, I don't really know him well enough to have an opinion on that one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I was going to let Dave go with this, but Dave, if you want to yield to me, David Niven is pretty much very much a part of British film from the early days. If anybody ever saw, I think it's called The Way Ahead. William Hartnell was in that film, by the way. That was his major film debut, although he did do a number of supporting roles in previous films, but that's what put him on the map. And for me, if you haven't had the chance yet, read The Moon's a Balloon. That's his autobiography. He is, for me, the quintessential Brit, if you will, where the late 40s, 50s are concerned. And then Casino Royale, James Bond. And yes, I think he will work magnificently in that role, especially as he could easily play against type, because I'm sure he would grasp the idea of, well, who is this Doctor? And in those respects, I could see him in the role.
He would just walk into the room going, "Oh, you're planning to destroy the Earth this week. There's a picnic going on this weekend, so can you do it next weekend or something like that?" Just some kind of fun. And don't forget, if you want to chat or add to the comments and talk about the picks that we've made, please. Wherever you're at in your YouTube channel, on the Facebook page, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So we've got David Niven.
Because I'm also thinking like Pink Panther.
I could see that because he's suave and debonair. Joey, speaking of suave and debonair, what was your pick? What's your next guy?
Well, let's see. I think we were looking at 65, 66 for Cushing. So 67, 68 will be John Gielgud. This is what previously. And then 69, 70, I chose Rex Harrison. And then 71, 70.
The Doctors.
David Bowie. So in this case now, as we're going to the 70s, I'm looking at someone who could easily have taken on the role and did it in such a way where even though he was doing extremely well with Monty Python's Flying Circus, he could have easily did this independently of Python and still have gotten away with it. And that person was John Cleese. Because of the fact that, and if we're looking at like early to mid 1970s, yes, he had left Python in 1975 because I think he had he was working on Faulty with his then wife, Connie Booth. Yes, yeah. and at the same time, he was also starting to do some independent stuff, and of course those things were what brought him to the attention of Joel Tadison, because he was responsible for, I think, not so much Holy Grail, but it was The Life of Brian, Meaning of Life, that he had funded through his company Handmade Films. And, of course, John Cleese was in Time Bandits. And I'm also trying to A Fish Called Wanda. So, I mean, those offbeat roles, he could easily have no problem whatsoever just getting into that character and being so manic. If you will.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think somewhere around Sylvester McCoy's time, they were pulling his name in every now and then. In fact, I think I saw somewhere on Twitter that Eric Idle posted on his head, Willow. I think, we've actually had Vincent Price on the last show. Willow said, "How do you think of Vincent Price would handle the role?" Yeah, Melanie said pulled in.
That's my boy.
Yeah, exactly there. And Sadako for Pertwee, the Demons, Carnival Monsters. Oh, I don't know where that chat's coming from, but Sadako, hey, thanks for joining us there, guys. And I'm hoping we saw one of the doctors show up, so that was nice. Yeah, I do like the idea. 10th Doctor, how could you know? I even signed it for you.
Look, it magically appeared back there. So
there you go. You're up there.
Sorry,
but I without a doubt, I could see John Cleese do it. He just walks into a room, goes, "What's all of this then?" Just so all the wacky stuff that he could pull. And he's always been like the straight man, but he plays it to where there's comedy gold into it. Yep. Dan Holyfield says Cleese would be indeed an excellent choice. Yeah, he definitely would be. I really would love John Cleese if he would do it. I don't know about today, but David Irwin. Hey, Christian, you remind me of my late. Oh, okay. Christian, you remind me of my late cousin Robert Hess. Cool. He loved Doctor Who. Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, I didn't read it in full, but yes, thank you, sir. I hope he wherever he's at. I hope he's still loving Doctor Who out there. Carl Witzman, I said I see him as John Pertwee type. Not a lot of humor, more class, and I can't pronounce that. Panache.
Now, who would that be? Would that be David Niven or John Cleese?
Actually, I think it's both, but I think he was referring to John Cleese.
I think he might have been referring to Niven.
Niven?
He's definitely referring to Cleese here.
Would he hang a moose head in the TARDIS? Yeah. Yes, there should be.
Please. Yeah.
Not a real one, just a fake one out there. Speaking of fake, Dave, I had no transition. Go for it, sir. What was your pick?
Shocking.
Speaking of fake, it was Niven.
So going back, I had picked Kenneth Williams from Carry On for the second Doctor, Christopher Lee for the third Doctor, and David Tomlinson for the fourth Doctor. Now, when we started setting up the show last time, we actually had all selected our fifth Doctor, but we just didn't get to it, which I think, so that's why we're doing three Doctors this time. So I'd already chosen my fifth Doctor, and I've changed it. After I had loaded stuff, I've just switched the order between who I had chosen for 6 and who I had chosen for 5. So who I've chosen is Guy Seiner from LOLO. And same with some cheese in his ears, hiding from the opera singer. And the fun thing about him is he's actually been in Doctor Who before.
Yeah.
He was in the Genesis of the Daleks. He's also done some work with Katie Manning.
Yeah. That's in the first episode. He's trying to explain, about the fact that they want the Thals total extermination. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
He's an interesting, he has that button down. He's also in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in that. He's still doing stuff. Mm-hmm. He's got a very long career and he's very recognizable. That would have been very early in his career in the early 70s. So he would have been one of those riskier at the time kind of an actor. But he does a very good button down, a little bit weird personally, I find the whole thought their celery thing ties in really well with a LOLO joke about wet celery that we won't go into. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, I picked him originally for my sixth Doctor, and then I started looking and went, no, he's definitely going to be my fifth.
Okay. Well, on to my Doctor. When we return from these commercials, when we get back, we're going to continue our discussion about who's going to be replacing Peter Cushing as the movie Doctor. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the legend. We'll be back.
Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
Alright, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Doctor Who Velocity is coming back with a new episode. It's called The Phoenix of Mexico, and it looks really exciting. So we can't wait until that happens. Just go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Doctor Who Velocity, starring Crystal Moore as the Doctor. There's a gnat flying in here.
That
Great.
damn gnat.
That damn gnat.
Y'all missed it when we first got on before we went live. He slaps himself in the face. I'm like, Christian, are you okay?
Yeah, he just went boom, and I went bam, get him. But he's still flying around out here. And speaking of flying around, don't forget to go over to Doctor Who Worlds Apart. Go visit the site every day. You can collect what are those coins called?
Pandax.
You can collect Pandax on a daily basis.
I'm going to do it now so I can collect my 10.
Don't forget that. But Doctor Who-worldsapart.com. We've been opening packs, so you're going to be seeing more of that. And as soon as the game goes live, you may be able to get a chance to play with us. We'll see how that goes and pans out. That'll be awesome. Yeah, that'll be totally awesome. Welcome back into the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil, and we're going to talk about my pick. I don't even really think there's much need to be said about this guy. Michael Caine. He does reside around that time frame. I meant, what movie do you want to pick that, he's, being a butler in Batman, he was Alfred. I I remember. I don't know if you remember, Joey. I remember there was a time when the three big networks, when they were only the three big networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, they did. I don't know why they had this. They had a battle of 20,000 Leagues. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember that, but it was. I think Ben Cross was in one of them with Patrick Dempsey, I think, was with Michael Caine. Mm-hmm. Ben Cross was one. I know Michael Caine was the other, and I can't think of the third. But there were all three channels were having 20,000 Leagues. But the coolest one, I thought, was Michael Caine. Mm-hmm. And where do I go from here with Michael Caine? I mean, it's with everything that he's done, he knows how to do comedy. He knows how to be serious. I mean, you've seen the. I mean, I think one of my favorite movies, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, where he can actually swing back and forth to being, because he was being serious, and then he was trying to rip off people at the same time. But he also
he was working in the 70s, because I'm looking at his IMDb page, and it's like 2 things in 1970, and that's not including him being on guest starring and laughing. Yeah. 3 things in 71, 3 more things in 72, 2 in 74. 4 in 75, 2 in 76. So yeah, I mean, that man was everywhere. Working.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't stopped.
No, he hasn't.
And in some of the cases, Sadaka says, "What is it? What's
it all about?
Alfie." Yeah. Oh my god! Jeez. Yeah, I remember that. There's not much to say. I just put the picture out there. It's Michael Caine, for crying out loud. Yeah, and he's always been a working man. But I just remember, I think they did an interview with him about Jaws: The Revenge. And I think, I was just like, why would you do that movie? And he basically said, well, they flew me out I think they went and filmed in the Bahamas. That was the only reason why he went out there, because he was doing a movie in the Bahamas. That's pretty damn cool. It's just, yeah.
Fair enough.
And the thing was, I think he even tried to do his best in that movie with the character that he was playing. I mean, it's not that he throws, he doesn't go in there to half-ass it. He really did the best job that I think of, but it was Jaws: The Revenge. So it was
Jaws: The Revenge.
Exactly.
That was, sorry.
Yeah, and definitely Sadaka. Get Carter is one of my favorite films he's been in, but he's definitely not a doctorish character in it. No. But I think you can use that. You can utilize that. I think he could look in a new direction with the Doctor, using that anger and that wit, that he could own the Doctor himself in that respect. But that's just my take on it there. So, without further ado, let's go round robin. Joey, what's your next pick there?
Oh, for me. All right. What year are we looking at specifically now?
72, 73?
Because we were doing it in...
Yeah.
So Tom Baker would have ascended to the role.
But this was before. Now I'm thinking that we were like further on to the late 70s, early 80s. But now, mind you, let's take Tom Baker out of the equation.
So everyone gets 2.
Okay. So it's okay. So if this is the case, all right, we haven't put the picture up here, and I apologize. I'm going to throw in a wild card, because if we're in the early 1970s, we bring in a man who probably is in between both marriages to Elizabeth Taylor, and he realizes that Rex Harrison, his co-star from the film back about a few years ago, he had a hand in it. Now he wants a hand in it, and his name is Richard Burton. Because this just immediately popped up, because we're talking about all these actors in past who. How would they be as a Doctor? Well, they would they would more or less act silly. When I think of Doctor Who, I don't think of so much of silly. I think of let's see. This is a new role. This is a clean slate. This is a new character, if you will. They're bringing themselves to it. So let's see how interesting this can get. Let's see if he flies. Let's see if he wins. And in this case, for all these actors that we've mentioned, thank you. That's a very young Richard Burton.
Very young Richard Burton.
Very young. Yes, of course. He lived a very, very long life in a very short amount of time, and being married to Elizabeth Taylor. Not once, but twice. I mean, hell, that's a life enough in that one.
I think it took 20 years off of his.
Yeah. But I think he would have he would have really done a magnificent job in the role, and I think he would have brought a lot of not just clout, but the fact that he's taking a lot of people outside, just like the other actors that I've mentioned before, are realizing, okay, this is not just a TV show role. This is now an established British icon like Sherlock Holmes and Robin Hood and Biggles and Bob the Builder. No. But in this case, now they're taking Doctor Who and going to the next level. Yeah, James Bond. I know James Bond. But in this case, I think he would have been magnificent in the role, because he would have been so much. All these actors, they want something to chew on, to play against type. And I think Mr. Richard Burton would have done a magnificent job. And plus, Liz would have been there, and they would have delayed production for a number of days because of her bitching and moaning, or the two of them in bed most of the time. And then, of course, their demands, but still all the free press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Melanie. I'm watching 10 banter about 13's picture. I think he wants the whole background to himself. The 10th Doctor. I knew you would take me down and leave 13 there. I knew it. Aw.
So yeah, I've been chatting back. So
there you go.
Anyway. So yeah, there's the photo. Take that off so people actually know what the hell.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Gotcha, Dave. What was your pick?
Well, like I said, originally I had chosen this actor for my 5th Doctor and switched it. And I'm going to be honest, it's these two pictures that actually are what made me switch this, because this just screams 6th Doctor.
Okay.
Peter Sellers.
Yeah, he was my pick from the last one. Yeah, Peter Sellers.
Yeah. And then I came across this one, which is just very.
That's
This is the creepy, weird, kind of jerkish Doctor. That the worst of the 6th.
That would be amazing.
And that's what else can I say? Like, I saw those and
honestly,
went, nope.
Since the last episode, when Peter Sellers was brought up, I didn't even think of Peter Sellers. So I'm almost like in this. I kind of wanted to put it on my list, but I'm like, okay, it's already there. But now that you put him on your list, I'm like,
he was
already on my list. He was on my list last time. We just didn't get to him. I just happened to switch him around this time.
He was on my list, I think.
Yeah, he was on your list as well. Yeah,
he was on my list. But because I think people perceive him as being too comedic, because they always see him as Inspector Clouseau. They don't see anything like in movies like Being There, where he can actually pull it back and be dramatic. I think he could definitely do that.
Well, just like Pertwee. I mean, when Pertwee became the Doctor on television, he went to his friend Peter Sellers and asked, well, how am I going to play this? And Sellers said, it's John Pertwee. And
I think he said, who the hell is that?
So obviously, you're correct about that, because he could have taken this role. Everybody is expecting him to be, a bumbling idiot, and which is what made him famous. But then again, nobody takes into account the goons. Mm-hmm. Nobody takes into account the mouse that roared. Nobody takes into account the lady killers. And so in those respects, people are going and expecting him to carry the milkshake, what brings the boys to the yard, but they're going to sit in their seats, and they're going to expect one thing, but they're going to get another, and they're going to come out, and it's like, whoa, I didn't know he could do that. Yeah.
Melanie, who was your pick?
Well, I'm looking at all the different people who are just laughing.
Yeah, I mean, we want to keep chatting right away. Please go ahead and continue the chat. We just have 10 and 13 in here? Oh, that's who's fighting it out for the wall space, I guess.
Yes, here we go. And Carl wants to say that American audiences just don't know all that Sellers did.
I know.
I think honestly, American audiences once he did when he jumped on the Muppet Show, that's what they kind of. Funny enough, the Muppet Show really kind of showed a lot of people who were out there, what actors were out there, what talent was out there all over the place, and kind of gave them at least the rank. Well, I mean, because it's the Muppet Show. If an actor can make somebody else laugh, even whether it's an actor, it's not a musical talent group or whoever, the Muppet Show kind of helped got a lot of people onto their radar to go, oh, they made me laugh. I really found them entertaining. Let me go check out their body of work. And you're at a time where at least you could try to at least support them through, going to your local cinema, your local movie theater later on. If there was, clearly supporting something. But I mean, you're the Betamax VHS kind of stuff was starting to get into its infancy. You could start looking at someone's catalog. You could check out. I mean, you had more and more networks were starting to kind of blow up on cable, so you didn't just have the same 8 that you were kind of trying to find those 3 that you get like a little, you could tune into. So I think. Funny enough, I think that was one good vehicle for sellers and for everybody else, that you could at least start looking at their body of work. But I agree with Carl saying American audiences just really didn't know a lot of what was going on across the pond.
By the way, for those people who were born after 1985, the sound Melanie just made was the sound of a rotary dial on a television.
Oh gosh!
And of course, the kids, were the remote control. So just a heads up there.
Yeah, they used to have little dials, and if you're poor, if you were poor, you had the older technology, so it was you got over there and you had to turn your tune in. And the bad thing was there was only going to be less than a dozen things, but
unless if you lived in New York, and then that was, or the major cities, Chicago, LA. But if you happen to, if you happen to live, where I lived when I was a kid in Southeast Louisiana, we had a very powerful high gain antenna, so we got stations up and down the Gulf Coast, but it was but most of them were just showing the same stuff during the prime time. But still, but yeah, it's like 3 channels, and if the president was on TV that night, you better have some comic books that you haven't read because you were screwed. Yeah,
but okay, Melanie, who's your next pick?
Let me go to the brand so I can actually say the name, or I don't know if you're ready for it. But my next pick was going to be Denham Elliott.
Okay.
So most American going kind of with what even Steve and I believe Carl and other people in the comment section noting that, or Dan saying that, a lot of people not realizing who's who. I really love this photo because I think this is kind of having more of a timey-wimey kind of feel of, clearly it's more of a Copperfield kind of look. But anyway, everyone over here knows him more as Marcus Brody from Indiana Jones series. Yeah. So, and in that first Indiana Jones that you saw him in, and when you saw him in Raiders, he was, he played it straight. He was normal. He was, he was helping Indy, determine, which, where he should be going, But then by Last Crusade, what the hell happened to Brody? He became just the biggest slapstick comedic little, laughing stock. It was like, oh God, is Brody okay up here? So Denham Elliott has a huge body of work, over in the UK. I think he would have been great at this time, kind of showing a little bit more, what he's about. I think he would be more of that Troughton kind of more. He's going to be watching. He's going to be more cunning. I find that he's going to have that kind of feel to him more than anything. Again, like more like a Troughton or like a 7th Doctor Sylvester McCoy, being more. There's more about me going on than what meets the eye. Yeah. So I just have that feeling that that's what Denham Elliott would bring to the table. So I think he would be an amazing Doctor in our late 70s range.
We're on a hard break, and then I'll get to my pick. When we return, we're going to continue and wrap up our discussion. And we got a bit of an announcement to make about Simon, because he's made some picks, and we're going to bring a few. If we have time, we're going to bring up a few. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tune in, and become part of the Legend.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show. hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With web show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With web show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Experience Samara's adventure as she imagines the people around her change into friendly cartoon animals right before her eyes. Journey with her in this poetic tale, My Cartoon Imagination at School.
The massive audio Doctor Who Bad Wolf Bluetooth TARDIS speaker. That's all I gotta say, one word. Wow. It looks like it just jumped right off the screen. Here it is in all its Bad Wolf glory. Right here is the on-off switch and the up and down volume. Right here's the speaker. The TARDIS stands about 6 inches from the bottom of the TARDIS all the way up to the top where the light is. Look at the detail. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Again, don't forget to go to Amazon.com/Fametech. It's spelled Fametek. Not only do they have the, I got it actually right here. Hang on. I've actually got the Bluetooth speaker right here.
Right.
And later on, when we do another opening with the boxes, we should be opening the Weaving Angels charger, which I don't know if I really want to open that one, but exactly. Don't blink while I'm opening. And then, folks, we're just coming up to the final portion of this episode about the Cushing Conundrum continues. And for my pick, where is he?
So we're looking at 75-76. I've just wrote it all down on a sticky note of where everybody was.
I think he falls into this place because I know he's been doing classic stuff. I mean, he's done old stuff. But not only that, but he's not only played the Doctor once, but twice. And to me, I think he's just the appropriate father figure. If you've seen stuff that he's done in other movies, I picked Jim Broadbent. I think he's just got that fatherly look that we return to, and you can see behind his eyes, you can see the years have gotten to him, and I feel he's more going to, when he has companions, they're more like his kids when he talks to them, and he when he wants to express things.
Doctor.
Yeah, what's that?
You'd be a young Doctor.
He would be a young Doctor, but I think, today not, but I think
what I'm saying is for 75-76.
Yeah, he would be a young Doctor back then, but I still think he would be, just the way that he presents himself, he would be kind of, I would say, like William Hartnell-ish, in the sense that he would let the companions go and do what they want to do, but then he'll be right back there going like, you shouldn't have done that. What were you thinking? I could see that look on his face when they kind of messed up, or they rewrote a piece of time that they weren't supposed to. And he's played the Doctor twice, one on Victoria Wood, and I believe the other one was The Curse of Fatal Death, with I think he got robbed because he was considered like the ugly Doctor or something like that. He was the very
shy Doctor.
He was the very shy Doctor, so he only lasted about 3 seconds. But we got to see his impression of what he might be in those two things, and even though they were comedic spoofs, I would seriously be a contender for that. I definitely would pick him. Your thoughts, anybody?
I think there's no point in time where he wouldn't be good, young or old.
See, I
also a good master.
Oh yeah. Well, see, for me, I think I like Jim Broadbent. I love his work. I liked him in he was in an Iron Lady, I believe. I remember the first time I saw him was like Moulin Rouge. So that's completely different than anything else his body of work he's done. I mean, he's done over 150 things. I mean, it's crazy. So I mean, he's very versatile. He's absolutely amazing. He has one of the best. I mean, everyone knows him, like, if you've seen him in the Harry Potter film. one of my favorite lines, just anything in life, is he ended up delivering it. And above all things, it was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which, I mean, pan that movie left and right if you want to. But he delivers a line that is stuck with me to this day. And it's, we're at the age where life stops giving us things and starts taking them away. And that just was like the most poignant line I ever heard. And the way he delivered it, it's still to this day is one of those, it's ingrained in my freaking psyche. So yes, I think he would be an amazing Doctor. I'm just kind of in that, for the time range, I think he would be in his mid to late 20s. So I don't know. There's a lot of question marks in my head because I see him in, his 50s playing the Doctor and being absolutely freaking stunning. So I don't know. There's a lot of question marks, but I would be down to see it. I think I would be pleasantly surprised.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So we're down to almost like the last 4 or 5 minutes. So I don't want to push this. So did you guys want to hold off more Doctors till the next episode?
Yeah.
Or
do that?
Okay.
We have to also keep in mind now, because obviously we're tracking back 50 years, and Jim Broadbent, if I'm right in saying, Melanie was in his 20s. So how can I say it? Are we picking actors way before their time, or are we looking at actors
vaguely right era?
Yeah,
or early career.
Personally, I'm trying to pick right when that's at the time. So I'm trying to adhere more to that. Okay, if this was 1975, 76, this is an actor that I think would be good for the role in 75, 76. So that's how I'm kind of approaching it.
That's fine. No worries. Just want to get an idea, because you know how time is with all of us. It's just
right.
It's just, yeah.
Well, I'm glad we didn't get to my next pick, because I just realized I pushed the next pick that I had, and I had to put down later because he didn't really start his career until 1981. So he would be out of place in there. So I might have to put him into a later spot out there.
Yeah.
But without further ado, we just want to make an announcement. Simon Fisher Becker, he found work. And whatever he's doing, we hope he breaks a leg, as they say in the industry. We are very, very happy that he's picking up work, and they're getting back to whatever they consider normal in around here.
For our audience who may not know, who is Simon Fisher Becker?
Oh,
the
Simon
amazing!
Fisher.
You can find him on Cameo.
Yes, we can. And I think, do we have his thingy? I think we have his banner.
Racing.
Nope, but I can make it
Anyway,
up.
he plays Dorian Moldavar, the big blue man, who ended up, spoilers, becoming a head in a box in Doctor Who. So, or if you're into the Harry Potter series, he was also the Fat Friar. So, our own Dorian Moldavar, Simon Fisher Becker, he is a panelist on the show. He's a frequent contributor. But as Christian said, he has a tendency of finding work, and he has found work right now. So he has, as much as he wanted to be in on this, he's kind of not able to be up at midnight to jump in. Usually he has no problem staying up till late to be on the show, but unfortunately he can't. So you're going to start seeing a lot more things where he's going to try to pre-record something to still be on and give his take, because he is a huge Doctor Who fan. Yeah. So he did give us some picks, though.
So he's got a 5 a.m. call. So that's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. But he will be, we'll see what he's going to be bringing to the table as far as future episodes. We're going to be working with him, but we are talking about doing a segment called Simon Says. Specifically stuff that he is going to be talking about 2 to 3 minute segments that we're going to bring on for topics or things like Big Finish reviews. If he's heard it, he's going to be part. So he's still part of the team, but while he's working, we wish him the very best. But
and how fitting, considering his name is Simon, so it fits with the segment.
Yes. There you go, down there.
Look how he's able to shoehorn that in.
Speaking of the segment, I have a list of pictures that Simon has actually brought to the table. So I've never seen most of these people at all. So if anybody wants to give a shout out or just mention to the people that are on here, by the way, don't forget his cameo. If you want to have him wish you a happy birthday or a friend of yours or whatever the occasion is, cameo.com. / Fisher Becker 1. But he picked a few people, and I'll just put them out real fast. June Whitfield.
Oh, yes.
Which actually, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's weird, but we haven't picked like female doctors. So some of them have female doctors out here. I'm going to try to pronounce, like I said, I do apologize. I've never seen these people's body of work. Robert Hare, which the face alone looks a little like. Okay.
Well, this is why we have imdb.com.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go. So you can check these out for yourselves. I believe it's pronounced Tom Courtenay.
Tom Courtenay. Yep.
Got it there.
Yep.
Michael Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Celia Johnson.
Okay. Well, he's
if anybody knows anything about these people, please let me know out there.
He's going way back in the past. These are established faces and voices from way back in the day. Tom Courtenay, fairly recently, but who's this gentleman?
Peter Gilmore.
Okay.
See, and the bad thing is some of them I looking like they look familiar, but it's like this particular still is a different role. So I'm like,
I get the feeling
eyes and the eyebrow ridge is telling me, you know this person, Melanie. What have you seen this person in?
So if anybody in the chats know these people and want to give a little shout, go for it. Gookie Withers. Margaret Courtenay.
Okay.
Any relation to Tom?
No.
Oh, okay. Jesse Matthews. Dennis Price.
Yeah, he's basically kicking it old school here, going through some of the best names of the jobbing actors and the comedians. I'm not saying half of them were in the Carry On films, but they were very much part of the British cinema that was post-war, 50s into 60s. Yeah.
William Mervyn.
Okay.
And the last picture you sent us, Patrick Cargill. Okay. Which out of everything, I think this was from the
Prisoner.
The Prisoner, yeah. And this is actually the one I kind of see mostly as being the Doctor out there.
Yeah.
But those were his picks there.
Yeah, well done, Simon. Well done. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, folks, we're out of time as far as the audio recording is concerned. We're going to continue on in the after party. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we end the audio portion of our series?
GeekRadioAmerica.com. We're back on the 7th.
And I know you got to go, Melanie, so tell everybody about Pieces of Melee.
That's my Instagram. That's my Facebook. That's going to be my website once I get that back out and going this week since I stopped painting. So follow me here. Keep an eye out pretty soon. Oh, I got a new link that if you're going to be going to MegaCon Orlando, you can check. You can see me there. You can also see me at Central Florida Comic Con. That's just me supporting the show, and at Tampa Bay Comic Con. And once Winter World starts doing cons, you know that's where we're going to be.
We are. We've already got a lineup, and I'm sure we're going to be adding a few more before the year's out. So everybody who has joined us in the audio version, thank you for joining us. Or everybody who's watching, you can continue to watch. We've got another half hour here with Wizard World for your special edition. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us. Please stay safe out there, and always Melanie loves the shirt. And as always, please continue to become part of the legend. Please stay safe. And welcome to the after party there, folks, gentlemen.
Hello.
Melanie's really disappeared.
She said that's when she was going.
Dan, thank you so much there, guys. If you want to continue the chat on, just let us know out there. I'll be checking Melanie. Yeah, of course there. Graham Krause has a question. He goes, a question for next time. Are you taking the actual companions? Are you taking the actual companions and how they would work with your picks? Wow. That might be something to look forward to.
Yeah. They've popped in every now and then, but we haven't been specifically working on that. No. Every now and then, I think one has popped in as hey, this would be a great companion to this Doctor, but
yeah. And don't forget to subscribe here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We are closing in at 1,200 subscribers. I mean, I think we're just a few people away from that. And most of the content on here is exclusively, including the Who Knew News, bits of the TARDIS. We've also cut down we made more playlists so that if you're interested in just the interviews that we had, like for Benji Clifford, Yi-Ji Cho from the 25th year TV movie, now 25 years old, Dr. David Brin, Ian McNeice, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy. We just actually put up if you hadn't had a chance, we put up our first audio episode of Katie Manning, which was hysterical. In fact, if you watch and I apologize in advance, if you watch the video, this is way back when we were still doing it as a Zoom chat. So a lot of it is kind of off the cuff or kind of like disheveled, but we were...
Oh, how we've grown.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But we were a little bit, we were, I wouldn't say unprofessional, but we were doing it for the audio. So we're not dressed up. We don't have our little curtains and stuff in the background. We were doing it for Katie Manning, who was having technical issues. So you don't get to see Katie, unfortunately, but you get to hear her. And plus there's segments about that version, which we have stuff before the show happened, where Katie is trying to get on the through Zoom. But now, if for people who know about Myoptic, or people are Myoptic, we were joking around because she was like, "I'm signing in as Katie Manning, and I have to go through those series of pictures. Like, okay, you got to pick out which are the sidewalks, or which one has the trucks, or which one is the school, or which one's." She couldn't do it. So we were joking that Zoom has convinced Katie Manning that she's not Katie Manning there, and you get that little segment, little ditties in there. So
this, in other words, it's just another normal day for Katie Manning.
Yes, but in this particular episode, we just had a blast, and because we look a little different back then, we were doing it for the audio version. We've never thought about some of these making it to the video, but it's nice, a little gem that we did have the video version of that out there. And Melanie said, "Sorry guys, have a birthday I need to go to. Very much love to everyone joined in the chats. Who do you think we missed? Dropped a comment below. Yeah, please drop a comment below. And speaking of comments, let me do this so that people know."
By the way, while he's typing,
I'd like people to comment.
Yeah, but by the way, while he's typing this, I apologize. Paul Mars Magrs had written, set up a Facebook post today stating that, I didn't realize this, 30 years ago today, if I'm right in saying, the first Virgin Doctor Who, The New Adventurers came out. So it's been 30 years. Yeah, 30 years ago, the Wilderness Years was in full effect. And for those of you who don't know what the Wilderness Years was, tell us, Johnny, what the Wilderness Years was all about.
Exactly what that is. Just completely.
It was pretty much when Doctor Who was Doctor Who, except for being on telly. It was amateur audio productions, which later on became professional video productions. Big Finish, Jason Hagelery and Nicholas Briggs and Gary Russell and such. And of course, you could not ignore Lisa Bowerman, because she's also been part of that backbone of Big Finish. But going back into the fact of continuing the Doctor's adventures in stories that were too deep for the small screen, I think, as they were being promoted. And the first one, they decided to do like a 4-part series, in this case called Time Worm. And John Peel wrote the first one, and Terrence Dicks wrote the second one. And the second one has, not to give too much away, but only Terrence Dicks could write a story about where the Seventh Doctor is.
Was that Cat Cradle?
No, that was the second series.
Oh, okay.
So Time Worm Genesis, Exodus. Oh, I forgot the last two ones, but anyways, Terrence Dicks writes a magnificent book, and I'm so happy that he was able to be a part of that way early on, because you cannot think of Doctor Who novelizations or later original fiction without having Terrence Dicks's hand involved in that. But a lot of great names, a lot of great literary careers were launched from the New Adventures. And so a tip of the hat, 3 decades of that. And I'm confident that there's copies all over the place. If you go to what is that? The Chicago TARDIS, alienentertainment.com. Gene Smith has Buku New Adventures and Missing Adventures and for sale. So if you haven't had the chance to sit behind a good book on that, I think Russell T. Davies, I think, has a couple of contributions, as well as a whole bunch of others. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, it was a happy anniversary. Yeah.
And I think somebody was mentioning, it's a space book. They were talking about Terrence Dicks and his contribution to the Ultimate Adventure. Yes. For those of you who don't know, there was a stage play after, I believe, during the Wilderness years, that took place. It starred Third Doctor John Pertwee, and also Colin Baker would take over the role after. But for just a very short time, the cyber leader, David Banks, from Silver Nemesis, took the role on, I think, for a couple of nights. Yeah. And I wish I had seen it, but everybody had told me that it was just brilliant. But Terrence Dicks actually wrote The Ultimate Adventure, which is the Doctor Who episode. Speaking of Ultimate Adventures, here is the gentleman we were speaking of earlier. That is Dorian right there, Dorian Moldavar. But it's our guy, Simon Fisher Becker. So break a leg out there, whatever you're doing, Simon. But he's not left the show. He is just going to be doing things differently. He may not be on the panels as much, if any at all, but he will be doing segments and making his presence known during the show out there. Speaking of presence, we got a few moments. I got a choice. Dave, did you want to open your packs, or do you want me to open?
I have no packs, but I do. I want to be arrogant for one moment. I just want to appreciate the perfect framing of me here, right above the traveling TARDIS, and just right inside the logo. And as I pause there to get a screen cap of that in a bit. Yeah, exactly. That's literally why I switched things over, and now I can go back and go. There, put the after party back in because it was blocking the title.
You can actually get rid of it. There you go.
I need a new profile picture.
I know. There you go.
Let's get a screen cap of that, shall we?
Oh yeah, I'll go on the YouTube.
There you go. We'll eventually get one there. Yeah, I'll do my final pack. How's that sound? Hang on. Okay. We'll just do no bad. For those of you who never seen us do this before, we mentioned it during one of our breaks. Doctor Who Worlds Apart. Let me go ahead and pull up their.
While you're bringing that up, Christian, I have something I'd like our audience to pull in on and just make a comment. So we've done 2 of these. We're clearly going to do it again. We've done the Cushing Conundrum. We've done the Cushing Conundrum continues. What should we call our next one? If you have any ideas, comment it. I'd like to see. Christian goes, "Oh God, what have we done?
Yeah, what have you done to me? What have you done to me?"
McBoatface.
There you go. So, shut up. I'll bring up my screen. Should I bring the audio in, or do you think that's going to make it?
Don't bother. It's annoying.
Got it.
In context of this, it's annoying. It's great audio, but it's not for
exactly. For whatever reason, StreamYard goes a little wonky out there. We're going to be playing the game, and once our friends over at Doctor Who Worlds Apart get it all started, we're going to be playing this game called Doctor Who Worlds Apart. I'm hoping they're going to do it soon. I've been watching out for them and haven't heard word back since about the release date. But if you want to get the packs, now's your chance. You can buy the packs over on their site. What happens is when you get a pack, as you can see, this TARDIS, not the traveling one, but a TARDIS. I love the animations there. You will see a screen that comes up looking like this. And this is one of my speakers have cucked in, so I don't know if you can hear the noise from my speakers going into the headset mic, but this is one of the packs right here. Once we open the pack, that's it. I mean, everything is going to be revealed. There's no way to put them back into the pack and get rid of them. So, without further ado, here we go. Because I really want to get some legendaries. Really want to get some legendaries because Nisha has to be taken down. So there we are. And these are going to be the cards. And while I'm about to flip one over there, Dave, can you tell them a little bit about Worlds Apart?
Sure. So basically what Worlds Apart is a digital collectible card game. So if you played Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Magic, something like that, but it's all digital. And unlike some other video games, you own these. These are all NFTs.
Yes.
So every one of these cards has a serial number attached. It is entirely unique. And one of
Cushing the final conundrum. Thanks, Dan.
we have at least 2 more episodes, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so each of these is a unique item that you own. Even if the game dies horribly and painfully, you will still own these NFTs. You can sell them for real hard cash. You can trade them. If you want to build a deck, you don't actually even need to make a purchase. There'll be free cards available that you can go in and still play us or whoever. And let's take a look at the cards.
Got it. Hang on one second. Without further ado, okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna turn off the speakers so I'm not getting the noise back there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Where do you guys think I should start? Right, left?
Right
left,
there.
Right. Right there?
Yeah, right there.
Alrighty, let's spin it around. I'll show you the first card, the Dauntless Prison. Oh, we've had those before. When played, place an enemy non-human creature on this until your next turn. Add a random upgrade to your TARDIS base on the imprisoned creature's race. Okay, cool. I'll do something different. Normally, I stay within the monster species, but we'll go to Dalek. Strax! Yay! I got Strax. Can be played as a flash whenever an adjacent creature blocks Strax. Whenever an adjacent creature blocks, Strax blocks instead. Wow, okay. Cool beans.
It hits them with a newspaper.
I need a... I love that scene. All right. Nisha, we got some legendaries behind one of these cards, I swear it. Energy Surge, Flash, disable all objects and mechanical creatures. So, yeah, all these, and I've never understood. Well, I do understand, but I'm still getting my head around it, I should say. Even though you got the first card, let's say you have the number 1 of the 4th Doctor, people are not actually looking for that. They're looking for the 4th card of the 4th Doctor. If that
potentially, and it's like anything collectible. It's up to who is willing to buy what and who wants what. My number in Quidditch is 99. I want serial number 99 of all these cards.
Right.
Got it. It's whatever's, good for you.
Exactly. Let me flip this over, and we've got Silurian Ash. Now we're just seeing repeats. I'm getting disappointed. I want some new stuff. Silent, it's not bad. I'm sorry, Mort. I'm not blaming. I'm just like, we just got more cards. That means I'll just sell them off. Reveal the top 2 cards of each player's future. Okay, cool. And let's go Cyberman again. And Face the Raven. I think this is new. I think that's new.
So.
Choose a creature. It dies at the start of your turn. Yes. And we know Melanie has a bunch of Ood, and that card will be played. Oh, well, this is new. I think I think we've seen this before. The Torgil. Oh, okay. This is what was it? The Rings of Axion. No, was that the Ring of Axion?
Axion.
At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all creature. Okay. And we'll flip that over. The Greater Pyrovile. Disable a human that costs 5 or less. Wow. Okay. Let's get some interesting stuff over here. Let's try to finish up the Daleks. Eaten by shadows. Destroy an organic creature. When Melanie plays with us, she's doomed if I'm playing right now. Set of cards. Let's check out this card right here. The Cyber Leader. Whenever an upgrade is applied to a friendly Cyberman, apply the same upgrade to all other friendly Cybermen as well. Wow.
David Banks.
David Banks. Yeah, I got a David Banks card. I'm happy. And last but not least, Polar Renaissance. Now, I think, Polar Resonance. Polar Resonance. Oh, the 2 Sonics put together. That's what he got. Counter a creature, moment, or flash. Well, that is my packs there.
Is this like crossing the streams?
Yeah, pretty much. We're crossing the streams there. Huh. So that actually ends that. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. Sad thing about it, though, is you cannot get David Banks to sign that Cyber Leader card, though.
No, you can't get him to sign anything because they're all virtual.
I mean, in theory, you could get a screen cap of it.
Yeah.
Hand him your iPad, and I've seen a lot of people who have done that conventions where they get a digital signature.
Agreed.
There we go.
Well, look at the best part. Look on the bright side of that. At least you're not having boxes inside a storage room catching dust, and then you're looking through all those things 20 years from now, and it's the last thing you happen to find.
I like that. The Cushing Conundrum, the legend continues. I like that. Thank you, Dan. I'm going to probably steal that. So just want to let you know out there. Don't forget Doctor Who Worlds Apart if you want to get those. And again, you don't even have to make a purchase. But you'll get the basic cards if I'm not mistaken. You'll get cards. But if you want the good stuff, there might be just a little bit of where you need to make a purchase out there. So don't forget Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You can go on the Facebook page, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS on our YouTube channel. Help us out. Get us to the point where we can have some fun. We're going to have exclusive content. We're going to have more exclusive content. Dave and I are talking about that. We're still working on it. So if you sign up, you're going to have content that only folks on the YouTube channel will get. And that's it.
Check out those bits of the TARDIS and see how many of Christian's flubs make it into the show.
Oh, shut it. Only because you've written it there.
Well, you mean it's going to be like Dark Shadows? The blooper reel was all 1,225 episodes of the series.
Pretty much.
That's a different take on that. Well, I don't. Let me go over the calendar with folks. Hang on one second. For those of you who are looking to see where we're going to be, there we go.
I will be right here.
You'll be right there.
We're more or less still locked down.
I know. I'm sorry. I kind of feel bad. Slightly.
Alberta is very strange right now. We don't have great numbers, but in theory, we by July are theoretically going to be completely open.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Australia
we'll
had to
see
go
how
under
that goes.
Yeah, I heard Australia had to go under lockdown, or was it just one city? Because there was like 7 million people involved.
What?
I think it was just a city or a province.
Okay. Yeah, because judging by pretty much how America got their yayas out over the course of the past 3 days, that's why I'm still staying home. But then again, I've never left.
Well, let me just end the show by showing you what we've been scheduled to go to coming up June 12th, as Melanie mentioned, June 12th and the 13th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida. We will be there hosting panels and our booth. And if you want to get a picture of the Traveling TARDIS, we're going to have a special container for it. We will have restrictions to make contact with the Traveling TARDIS. Seriously, you will be sanitizing your hands, and we will be protecting the TARDIS because it is a piece of metal that can actually come in contact with things. And just like Concred, we don't want to get anybody sick out there. So that's going to be taking place Saturday, June 12th and Sunday, June 13th at the RP Funding Center. And all of this, all you'd have to do is facebook.com, the Traveling TARDIS /events, or you can just go to the Traveling TARDIS on Facebook and look up the events page. Saturday, June 26th, the Traveling TARDIS will be going to VillaCon. I will not be there, but our very own Jessica Womack will be there. She'll be hosting one panel and she'll have the Traveling TARDIS there if you want to get pictures there. This is the first time they're going to be doing this convention. It's at the Wyndham Orlando Resort on International Drive in Orlando, Florida. So check it out. You can invite your friends. The one that I'm really excited about, not that these conventions I'm not excited about, but the one that I've been waiting for the longest time because they had canceled right at the moment when the lockdown happened. So it was like they were holding out for so long, and then they finally decided to cancel out. The Traveling TARDIS will be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con Convention Center at the Tampa Bay Convention Center Friday, July 30th to August 1st. And then finally, the Traveling TARDIS will be returning to MegaCon. We'll be joining our friends over at the Hanging with Web show. That's going to be taking place August 12th through the 15th, all MegaCon weekend long. Again, of course, all these are subject to change without notice, so just please keep an eye on the events page. If for some reason there's any cancellation, we will let you know as soon as we know. But as far as I know, all these conventions are going to be going on, and we can't wait to see you there. And we will be adding more conventions along the way, including, and we're still working this out, SD Who. I don't know if you ever heard of them, Joey. They're San Diego convention.
Yes.
And if anything, I was talking to John, who runs the place. We may be remoted into the convention, so we'll actually be sitting here in Florida while the convention is going on. I guess they're going to have a TV screen or something so that we can actually join in panels and such. So this is going to be an interesting time for all of us, especially with that. So
we're going to be behind a booth, as it were, as if we actually were at the convention, like, out in the Beggars Hall and all that, the dealers and all that. And basically, you'll be there, and it's like, yes, you can take a photo, but don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch the TARDIS.
Expensive TV, don't touch it.
Yeah, I've heard some conventions where they're going to have panels, but you're not going to be in the same room with those panels. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, how is this all going to work out? But
we'll find a way.
Well, they'll find a way. Yeah.
If we could put a moon landing on a motion picture studio and say we did it, we're good. We're good.
I didn't say it. I give your comments on this gentleman right over here there. But we want to thank you all for joining us here again. We're going to have another episode next week. We'll let you know as soon as we can, because we are actually having scheduling. We're trying to schedule in, folks. We are going to have a very. I don't want to spoil too much, but we do have a very well-known actor who's been in Doctor Who, who's going to be his first time here. And hopefully he'll be explaining a movie that he put out last year and talking about his time on a certain boat.
Well, wait. Okay, is he bigger than a bread box?
He's bigger than a bread box. Yes.
Okay. Is he
not that much?
Okay. No, true, agreed. Now, if that's the case, when he comes to the house, do you have to lock up all the liquor?
You might in this particular case, but I would say Shiver Me Timbers, because there could be a pearl in our future there. I'm just going to leave that little ditty on that. I'm going to leave that. Plus, I think we can safely confirm we are actually going to have. Oh my God! I completely forgot. What is that? Shoot, I forgot what they were. Oh my God!
You'll remember when he's not thinking.
I know. I will remember.
Stuff for you coming up.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
It is way bigger than a bread box. It's bigger on the inside. I just had it in my head, and
can I touch it? Can I touch the thing what is bigger than the bread box?
Yeah. But you have to fly over. Is the hint. And they. Let's just say a certain actor is no longer part of this event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You know what? We'll surprise everybody. But thank you for joining us this week, and please stay safe. Thank you again, our friends over at Wizard World. We'll just see a silence. Yeah. No. We'll keep you abreast of things, Graham. We'll tell you later there. Don't forget to join our friends over at facebook.com Wizard World and check out their merch shop over at the Wizard World Vault. Don't forget to check out Jabe's place, rathole.ca/who. You can also check out his YouTube channel as well. Our friends over at HWWS Web TV. Those folks sponsor our audio version if you ever want to listen to us while you're driving there. Our friends over at cameo.com Fisher-/FisherBecker1. And one last time, because I don't have the link for you, Joey, where can they find Geek Radio?
GeekRadioAmerica.com. We are still under construction, which means that I already paid GoDaddy yesterday, so it has to clear the bank. But
yeah,
and this is a butt bigger than Jennifer Lopez's. We will have content up on the, that or it is Chacon. I mean, both are like insured by Lloyd's of London, but we will have content as early as June 7th, which is next Monday.
Next Monday. There you go. Yeah, next week. Well, next Tuesday.
Yes.
Or next Monday, yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us, and please continue to stay safe out there. We want to see you at the conventions as well as here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you so much for joining us, and please, whatever you do, always become part of the legend.